motherfuckers. 2025. Brand new year, brand new fucking... Nah, I'm just kidding. That's fucking gay. One thing we're gonna work on. It's not saying fuck 300 times a video. Come back and watch some of them. And yeah, we're gonna work on that. But other than that, everything's gonna stay the fucking... Damn it. Everything's gonna stay the same except for that, hopefully. Alright. Recently, I just got back from vacation. Went from Guadalajara to Miami, from Miami to Puerto Rico, from Puerto Rico back to Miami, and now I'm back here in Mexico. It's like in total 20-some days, 22, 23 days of fucking travel. There I go again. And I'm not a big long vacation guy. I'd rather it be, 5 to 7 days. That's perfect, perfect, perfect. 20-some days is not a vacation. That's a stress management course out in the wild. And boy, was I managing stress poorly. Anyway, had a good time. Hit the beach a lot. Hung out with some homies. Did not do a lot of MMA, anything related as far as... I watched maybe the last 4 fights of the Buckley card because I was there. I watched like half of the Fury Usyk fight, like the last half of it. Didn't really even look at my phone. Nothing, didn't listen to no podcasts, nothing. So, yeah, pretty chill month. December, the whole thing was pretty hectic. Pretty chill and pretty hectic, yeah, so it's still trying to work everything out in my brain. But, nonetheless, let's get it started here on El Guero Loco. I don't even know what episode this is. I didn't say anything because I just do not know, but put it for you right there. Okay, start off by fucking... Yeah, work in process. Work in progress. Jeez, I can't talk either. Your winner of Male Fighter of the Year, Charles Mask Lewis Fighter of the Year award, goes to Alex Pereira. Okay, this is... there's a couple of these that I disagree with. Most of them I agree with. I think it should have been Ilya. It would have been essentially so. Alex knocked out Jerry, Jamal, and beat Khalil. 2 of those were on short notice. Oh, he knocked out Khalil too, sorry. He knocked out all 3 of these guys. The Salt Lake City was not short notice, that was Khalil. But the other 2 were. I just don't see the same caliber as Jerry, Jamal, Khalil compared to Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Both knockouts, both crisp, clean, confident. I mean, you got to give it up to both guys, but Ilya clearly won that. I don't know how we got here, but that's where we are. Alex is a much bigger face right now than Ilya, so there you go. It's MMA over the years has always been somewhat of a popularity contest regarding a lot of the circumstances we find ourselves in. Female Fighter of the Year, Zhang Weili for the win. Well deserved, I agree with that, no problems there. International Fighter of the Year. Now, I mean, I'm not sure on the category of this. It's a weird category to have just, but anyway, it's kind of an international thing. Anyway, it's Dricus. And I also agree with that. Dricus had a fantastic year. Dricus has a fight coming up with Sean Strickland, UFC 312. And as of now, I think I'm leaning towards DDP to get this done. I would love to see, get out of here, my freaking cat. I would love to see DDP Khamzat Chimaev. That would be absolutely sick. Breakthrough Fight of the Year, Tom Aspinall. As far as like breaking through and becoming a household name, I think that's what they mean by that. Now people are hammering in my apartment. I agree with that. Tom becoming the interim and defending against Curtis is and just non-stop chirping at John. Like, we know he wants to fight John. It's not just cool with interim until John leaves. He knows that if he wants to be anything legit, he must fight John. And the UFC also understands that. I think we're gonna get that fight. It's a little, I don't even know what to call it, dude. My brain doesn't work right now. I'll sneak preview into something later on in the episode regarding Tom and John. I don't know. Okay, knockout of the year. Obviously, we got Max versus Justin. I agree, 1,000,000%. What a crazy night. What a crazy fight. And then right after that, you had Weili, right? Weili. And then right after that, you had Jamal and Alex, which was another banger. But everything got overshadowed by what Max did that night. That was incredible. The submission of the year goes to Diego Lopez versus Gavin Tucker with the triangle armbar. It's not the one that I voted. I can't remember which one I voted. I don't believe it was the Islam Dustin either, but that's what everybody seems to think it was. I did not agree with that. I thought it was something else, but I can't even think about what it was right now. This one I definitely don't agree with was Max Holloway versus Justin for fight of the year. There was other candidates on there that I thought definitely deserved that. It was kind of a one-sided beating. It wasn't like a back and forth thing. Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker was a back and forth ordeal. Dan Hooker breaks his arm mid-fight, keeps fighting. We don't even know until after, and Joe says something to him. Dan does. You know how many fighters would have come out and said, "Yeah, man, I had to fight through this," and just try to like, "Oh yeah, I'm such a badass playing that." Dan didn't even acknowledge it. He said, just a scratch. He said nothing more on the issue. That's fucking going out like a real badass, dude. Upset of the year was Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya, the dog fucking Chinese man, the China man. Yeah, I mean, who the fuck saw that coming? What a freaking great way. That was beginning of the year, I believe. Beginning of 2024, and it held up the whole year. So, hats off to that. Sean, like I just said, got that rematch coming with Dricus. A lot of people think that he won the first fight between him and Dricus, and I tend to agree. So, we're going to see what happens. But I am leaning Dricus. Comeback fight of the year. Comeback of the year. Now this is just such an utterly stupid category that they could have thought of anything else to do. Like, absolutely anything. And we got comeback of the year. We got Tom Aspinall for his career because he came back and salvaged his career. Not sure how we got there. Anyway. The next one, we got leading man. I think it was between like PFL's guys, Vent. I don't even know who was on the thing. Leading man. It would have been PFL's head honcho, Dana. Man, is obvious who it was. Oh, and one is probably one's homie was up in there. I don't know. Ring card girl of the year. Luciana Andrade. Good for you, buddy. Referee of the year, Herb Dean. I think Herb had a freaking horrible year. I think right now my favorite ref is probably, I think Jason Herzog does a good job for the most part what I see. Herb had a couple of things this year that just made me scratch my head. I didn't understand where he was coming from, but I'm not a ref, he is, so there you go, end of discussion. Nina, drama personality of the year. So I definitely voted Chael, and if I could have voted Chael like 500 times while making different accounts, I would have done that. I probably could have done that, but yeah, the freaking horror one. Coach of the year, we got Plinio Cruz. That is the head coach of Alex Pereira. Well deserved by Plinio Cruz for sure. Trainer of the year, we got Ian Larios. I believe he's a nutritionalist. I think he's Bilal's nutritionalist, if I'm telling right from the picture. He's definitely not maybe he's a trainer, maybe he does conditioning and stuff like that as well. I'm not sure. But for all I know, he's a nutritionalist. Anyway, Gym of the Year. The Fighting Nerds 100% deserve that. We got John Silva, Carlos Prates, Rufy. We got Caio Ohio. Like, bro, these guys are popping off. I think they're all undefeated and out here killing it. Carlos Prates had a banger of the year. Definitely should have got Rookie of the Year, I believe. We got Michael Bisping, Analyst of the Year. Baby boy! No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, sure. I don't agree with that. I think Paul Felder is a much better analyst, but go Mikey. We also have Journalist of the Year, Helwani Ariel, the little fucking mermaid. Nothing more to say on that guy. Who do you think won Best Promotion of the Year? Was it PFL? Or One Championship? Or Bellator, which is PFL? Or UFC? Well, it was UFC, no surprise there. Fighting Spirit, Mark Coleman, for rescuing his parents from a burning building, even though Mark Coleman hasn't fought in a long time and he's not even really that involved in the sport, but here we are, Fighting Spirit, Mark Coleman. Best MMA programming, I definitely voted Morning Combat, but they have Dana White's Contender Series. I don't understand how that's a MMA programming. That's more of a that doesn't make any sense. But whatever, we don't pick the winners. We just talk about it. Get out of here, cat. ESPN, MMA Media Source of the Year. Also, what? Anyway, what are you kidding? Lifetime Achievement? We're just making up awards, dude, for Mark Coleman for being alive. He gets 2 awards. One for Fighting Spirit and one for Lifetime Achievement. That's freaking bogus. Where we at here? Okay, well, there's your MMA Awards for 2024. What are we at? 13 minutes? Vid's gonna be short, dude. I don't care. What I got for you now is we're gonna go over my 2024 3-fight wish list. So I had Pereira Aspinall, Connor Diaz, and Jones and Aspinall. None of those happened. None of those were even close to happening. So what I did this year for my 2025 3-fight wish list was fights that are a little more a little closer to being possible, a little more, wow, I don't even know a word for that. Fights that are a little more likely to happen. Wow, couldn't even finish a sentence, Doug. Anyway, here they are, 2025 fight wish list. We got John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Need to see it. Think we're gonna see it actually. Shocker, shocker, but I think it's gonna happen. My other one would be O'Malley versus Sandhagen. I just think that those guys would, man, after O'Malley's last performance, not looking great for the wrestling department, but I doubt after coming off the loss to Umar that Sandhagen's going to want to wrestle all that much. I think it'll be a stand-up banger, and I think everybody will win. And my third one would be Ilia Topuria versus Diego Lopez. For the belt, preferably in Spain. That would be freaking sick, dude. Huge. Brazil / Mexico, Spain. I mean, dude. Banger. Freaking fireworks, dog. Close out the show. So yeah, there's my 3-5 fight wish list. We'll address this next year if they happen. I'm pretty sure those fights should happen. And yeah, keep it moving. right now I'm gonna go through all the current male champs, and I'm gonna make a prediction who I think will be champ at the end of this year. So flyweight male is gonna be Pantoja is the champ right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. We got Royval, Moreno, Albazi, Cara France, Tyra. And then number 6 is Manel Kape. I believe that Pantoja should be the champ at the end of this year with probably two defenses, you know. One, like, one in the first third of the year and one in the last third of the year. I don't know what quarter, probably second quarter and fourth quarter if you want to put it like that. And if there was someone who did beat him out of those guys, since they're kind of all freaking holed up here, everybody's already fought everybody, and sometimes twice. The guy who I think maybe could pull it off would be Kape, at least to get to the spot. Who knows if he could capitalize on it. Probably not. That's why I'm going to say that I believe Pantoja would be. But if it was to be someone, it would be Manel Kape. Let's check out your bantamweight. It's Merab right now. Who's going to end? Is it going to be Merab or Umar? Because whoever it is going to defend again, probably towards the end of the year, since that fight is the next one up. 311, Merab Umar, Khabib, not Khabib, jeez. Islam versus Arman. I don't know why I said Khabib, that's wild. Anyway, if Merab beats Umar, Merab's gonna beat whoever they throw at him next. Looking at this list here, brother. We got Sean, we got Merab champ, then we got Sean, Umar, Piotr, Corey, Davison, Cheeto, like, bro. And if Umar beats Merab, it's gonna be Umar. I mean, unless these boys have a banger, razor close fight and they rematch, then we'll see. Who's gonna end as champ? My final answer. I'm gonna go Merab, dude. I think Merab's just got so much to prove. He's pissed off. He's kind of got a chip on his shoulder, thinking like, oh, these guys gonna Aljo me. You gonna Aljo me? I'll Aljo you. I'll get kneed in the head on the floor and win the belt like that. So, I don't know. It's possible. We'll see. But I'm going to go Merab, dude. I think Merab's a machine. Featherweight. We got Ilya as champ. Volk. Holloway, who's out of the division. So we got Volk, Lopez, Evloev, Rodriguez, Ortega, probably out of the division. Then we got Arnold. It's going to be Ilya. We don't even need to discuss any of this. The guy who has, like, the best chance is Diego Lopez, but Ilya wins. Sorry, don't care. If you think Ilya's jiu-jitsu can't hold up with Diego's, it can. If you think Diego's striking is going to outpower Topuria's, it's not. It's not. So, Topuria, easy answer. Lightweight. We got Islam. And number 1, we got Sarukian. Then we got Oliveira, Gaethje, Poirier, Holloway, Hooker. This one's a tough one because I do believe it comes down to what happens with Belal and Shavkat. Islam will not go up and fight Belal. I do think that Islam doesn't want to keep making this weight, and he's publicly said he wants 2 belts. He wants to go up to 170. That's probably a perfect weight for Islam to end his career at too. He can go up there, not have to cut as much, rejuvenate, have 3 or 4 more fights up there. If they were his champ, that would be incredibly crazy. But you know, if there's a guy who can do it, it's Islam. Does he beat Arman? Man, what a tough freaking choice, dude. And this is like Merab Umar. And my favorite fighter on this planet, walking this planet, is Charles Oliveira. So he's going to be next for whichever guy. I do not think that Charles can beat Islam. The fight between him and Sarukian was close. But if Sarukian goes out there and just beats Islam, he's going to have a massive confidence boost coming back against Charles, a guy who he already beat. It's going to be tough, dude, for Charles to pull it off. If Arman wins, he remains champion. He will end 2025 as champion. If Islam wins, he will finish 2025 as champ. If Bilal loses and Shavkat wins, I think that's Islam's perfect opportunity. They are not going to give a Bilal. They're not going to give a Bilal. They're not going to give Bilal a rematch no matter what happens, bro. No matter what happens, and that would be Islam's perfect opportunity. Even if he had the belt here to vacate and go to 170, or he wants to be 2 belt at the same time, he can't do that. He can't do that because he would bulk up so much for 170. He would have to vacate. That's the only thing why. If Islam isn't champ by the end of I think he's going to be Arman. If Islam isn't champ by the end of 2025, it's because he went up because Bilal lost. Okay, we're going to go with that. That would be a vacant title between, who knows, Dan Hooker and Charles Oliveira. Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira rematch. Dustin Poirier is probably going to fight somebody else for a retirement fight. We got Max in the mix. Max and Charles would be sick. Max and Charles would be sick. So say Arman and Islam fight and Islam wins. Arman's kicking the bucket back down. He's going to fight Justin Gaethje or something like that. And Charles and Max are going to fight for a interim when Islam goes up to get to 170. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas. I'm just spitballing, throwing stuff at the ceiling, waiting for something to stick. Welterweight. Bilal is champ. Leon is 1. Shavkat, Usman, Jack Della, Sean Brady, Joaquin Buckley, Ian, Gary Machado. Ian Gachado Mary. Anyway, who's going to be champ at the end of this year? I don't think Shavkat's fight with Ian has me worried that Bilal's going to lose the belt, to be honest. But maybe it had something to do with these guys trained before, or who knows, maybe the guy had a big night. He was his first big fight in the UFC. He's kind of an unknown guy now. He's like headlining or co-main, whatever. Biggest fight on the card. Who else was there? Pantoja and the new kid, Kai. So the hype of that event was big time centered around Shavkat and Gary. So maybe there was some, bright light nerves. We don't know, but we shall see when he takes on Bilal Muhammad. That will be the next fight. Rumors that Jack Della and Kamaru are going to fight, so say Jack Della gets to do that. He probably should. And he fights Bilal after Shavkat. I think Bilal can also do the same to him. So I'm going to go Bilal. I think Bilal finishes this year as champ. Has 2 defenses this year, and I believe that's what's going to happen. Who else we got? Sean Brady does look to be on fire. Who did he lose to? Bilal? If anyone beats Bilal this year, out of these top 5, it'll be Sean Brady. Okay, he wants that back. He realizes now that was his first loss. Now he lost to the only guy who he lost to is now champ. There is a good possibility of that, I believe. Let's go middleweight. Dricus is champ. Sean is 1. Rematch happening 312. So after that we got Israel, Hamzat, Whitaker, and Mavov. So we got Israel and Mavov signed to fight each other. Hamzat and Rob just fought each other. So yeah, it's Hamzat waiting in line for the winner of Dricus and Sean. Who ends this year as champ and middleweight? Hamzat Chimaev. That is my final answer. And it didn't take a lot of thought to get there. If he fights for the belt. If he does not fight for the belt, Dricus will be your champ at the end of the year. So here we go. Light heavyweight, Alex Pereira, Ankalaev, Jiri, Jamal, Jan Blachowicz, Alexander Rakic, Carlos Ulberg. After Ulberg's last performance, he definitely is not ready for Pereira, and not even this year would he be. He needs 2 fights this year, get 2 good wins, and maybe next year. Or if he gets 3 good wins this year. I'm just so used to these guys. These top 5 guys, top 7 guys only fight 2 times a year. To be honest, that's what we're seeing. So it's all good. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying that's how I'm measuring these title fights, you know. And even if he fights twice in this year, he's ready for a third. Doesn't mean Champ's gonna be ready, and you're waiting on the guy with the belt. He's got what you want. So, man, it's gonna be Alex for sure that ends up this year's champ. I don't think he's fighting Ankalaev next. Even if he did, I think he wins. But we got Pereira ending the year as champ, heavyweight. So, I don't need to read this fucking list to you, because this is going to be a weird one. If John wins against Tom Aspinall, he's going to retire with the belt. And they're going to have an interim, but I don't know if it would be Aspinall again. Or not an interim, they'll have a undisputed, a vacant title fight. I don't know if they'll put Tom right back in there. Could be all these Sergey or freaking the other guys, the polar bear dude, all these Russian jackasses. Not gonna be Curtis Blades, but I believe Tom is gonna beat John, so I will say Tom's gonna be your 2025 heavyweight champ when the year ends. Anyway, that's your video. I know it sucked. We watch this anyway, so there you go. If you watched, you made it all the way through. I'm sure you now have brain rot, skibbity toilet, so can't help you with that. Shouldn't have watched the freaking video. Guedo out.